Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Nick. This is You Don't Scare Me. Today I'm going to be debunking some ghost videos again, like normal. If this is your first time on this channel, we take ghost videos that sometimes people send to us, sometimes we find them on our own, but most of the time we just go on to somebody else's compilation and then systematically debunk every single ghost video in them with logic most of the time and personal experience with things like security camera footage and stuff, because I used to be a security footage analyzer for an insurance company, and I have some relevant experience in other places that have lended my capabilities to debunking most of these ghost videos with logic. So, without further ado, let's see what we got. So the first problem that I see with this already is that Nuke's Top 5 has zoomed in on it to crop out the timestamp on the video, unless that's going to be coming up in a couple seconds. I'm watching this alongside you, so the videos that are contained within this compilation are videos that I might have already seen, I might not have already seen, but given the fact that there's a possibility that this is the first video that you're seeing of mine, I think that it's important to, address every video as we go through, or else somebody's going to come back and be like, I saw that compilation, why didn't you talk about this one? The timestamp on the original video, on the seat search bar on the actual security camera's user interface, it says that it's 12 a.m. and that it's rolling in real time. The problem is that portion of the bracket has been stolen from another portion of the security camera footage, or entirely generated in some sort of, plugin for DaVinci Resolve or something. I have a few plugins that can allow me to do that. Not really totally interested in messing with that because it doesn't really, there's no reason to for me, but I have the capabilities of making these myself. So now the video has been sped up, and that shows that there is an effort to deceive, because the search bar shows that it's happening in real time, but the video is clearly sped up. So there is some manipulation specifically to deceive you. See what I mean? So if that's a problem, consider everything else to be basically bullshit because of that.
Some unseen force seems to grab Natalie's son by his ankle and pull him right off the bed.
You see? Sped up. If it's sped up, why is it sped up? Just sped up to make it look like it's more impressive than it actually is. Kind of makes me want to try to slow it down. There's always some errors. There are some issues when you take a video clip and you speed it up, export it, render it, and then bring it back in and slow it back down. It's not going to look properly slowed down. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to have the stuttering because you've now taken a video that's like, let's call it 29.5 FPS, right? Or 29.9. I think it's not full 30 FPS. That's all I'm saying. But now if you export that and then render it as a new 30 FPS video, once you put it back into DaVinci Resolve or your editing software of choice and slow it down, you're now taking the new 30 FPS and then breaking it down so it starts to stutter, because in rendering the 30 FPS, it has knocked frames out of that sped up 720 FPS moment. You know what I mean? So unless we had the original raw footage before it was sped up, or the original project files after it had been sped up, we will never actually be able to slow it down to the correct speed to make it look like it's authentically been sped up and slowed down. But I'm still going to do it so that you can see what seems to be a more reasonable speed. And as you can see, now that the footage has been slowed down, you can very clearly see that the child has just lifted his leg and then pushed himself off the bed to a resting position on the floor. He most likely had a nightmare and then kind of just pushed himself off, and the person who uploaded the footage decided they were just going to speed that portion up so it looked like he was being violently yanked out of the bed, but It doesn't pass the sniff test once it's been slowed down. You see what I mean? This is logic. This is Occam's razor. This is deductive reasoning to show you. Plus, consider the alternative that an invisible force that is capable of manipulating an entire, like, 30, 40-pound child doesn't appear on camera. Any sufficient amount of energy that is capable of manipulating a physical, dense mass should be visible to the naked eye.
Reality check. Now, before we start with this video, it needs a little bit of explanation. So the Quest 3 VR headset has a mixed reality mode where it can scan your room, including all furniture, and it will actually project your game onto the walls, ceiling, and furniture of your own house. This tech uses infrared light and depth sensors to only detect things in the room, and it's actually very accurate. So Reddit user Moki is playing a kid's game called First Encounter, where you shoot at puffy little aliens that virtually run around your house. But her Quest VR headset is picking up something very strange in her home.
I'm going to do some research. I think the husband that she says wasn't around, I think he was standing there when the MetaQuest 3 generated the depth map. And then when she turned on pass-through mode, he was no longer standing there. And thus, the system believes that he's a piece of furniture. And because it doesn't auto-generate a new depth map, it doesn't know that nobody's there anymore. See what I mean? So the way that it works is that it shoots out, let's like this. It's not like this, but this is how we're going to describe it, right? It shoots out a grid of lasers, and then when that laser bounces back into the viewer, into the thing that's sending out the signal, it measures the photons to determine the distance. It's like a laser measuring system, like, like carpentry, measure your rooms and stuff like that. So he was standing there during the time that she was allowing it to generate a depth map. Then he stepped away, and because he blocked the space, it now has him as a permanent fixture in this depth map. It's not a ghost, but it really is pretty interesting, I'll say. It's just fascinating as hell to me, because I didn't even really realize that depth sensors were included in the new Quest. I've never had one. I've got an HTC Vive, first edition, first generation. Can't afford to buy a new one, but this makes me want to save a bit of money, because that's really neat. It's $700. I will not be saving up for this. That would be essentially, I make $2,000 a month, $2,000 a month for my job, and I spend in just bills, utilities, rent, home insurance, car insurance, truck payment, cell phone, internet, all of the money that I make, $1,790 a month is all of my bills. I get to keep like $200, and I have to buy food, so and gas for my truck. I will not be saving up for this.
Okay.
Did you hear it?
No, I guess. What? Hear what?
In the middle of the night, a quiet little female voice seems to whisper,
No, you're not allowed to know what he thinks the female voice whispered. You're going to listen to it with no subtitles and no knowledge on what was said. Now, let me know in the comments down below if you hear any intelligible thing other than okay.
Okay.
Exactly. If you answered or if you commented down below saying, I didn't hear shit, all I heard was somebody taking a breath and then some other random noise, then you're correct. Because it's not a voice. It's just an ambient noise. Or her going, you know, as she's waking up and trying to take a swallow so she can speak or whatever. She's waking up from a dead sleep. She's reaching out and she's speaking. It's called sleep talking, you know? Like, everyone does, I think. I do. Apparently, I do all the time. If you ever meet my wife, ask her about the time that I was really upset that Spider-Man wouldn't let me tie his plastic bag with spaghetti or some shit. I don't know. She knows it better than I do. I was sleeping. Or ask my sister about the time that I bolted off the couch and sprinted down the hallway while screaming, the bag told me to drop it and run. And when a bag tells you to drop it and run, you drop it and run. I talk in my sleep all the time. It's one of my family's favorite aspects of me.
The woman's daughter Jennifer says that she believes that this is the voice of her sister who passed away in 2017.
Sorry. If that's true, that sucks. But right now, it's just emotional manipulation to add gravitas to your ghost video. So to me, it's not useful to add details like that. If you are genuine about thinking this, then you're correct. That's exactly what it was. And may your sister rest in peace. But if you're attempting to manipulate people by using these emotional stories, then it's not your sister, it's Satan.
By the way, Jennifer's family has recently had a lot of bad news, with both her elderly father and mother sadly becoming critically ill. If you'd like to help them, you can check out their GoFundMe at this link, which you can also find down in the video description.
I'll put the link in this description too. I don't know if it's still going, but now I feel like an asshole. Man. I'll leave it in the video because the initial reaction is still valuable, I guess. I'm reading the GoFundMe. I know $10 Canadian is basically fucking nothing, but I sent $10 Canadian. It's probably worth like $4 American, but it's what I've got. Seems like the mother has passed. That sucks. We've oh man. Great. Now I'm sad.
I'm going to tell you a ghost story. It's a true ghost story. And I believe that whatever it is has followed me here.
Tara says that she often finds all of the cabinets in her kitchen open.
I'm sure you do. It's been about an hour since the last clip, so I've got my mood back.
I'm on the phone with my stepdad today, right? He goes, who's there with you? And I was like, what do you mean? He goes, who's there with you? I was like, no one. Why? And he's like, who's that guy talking? I'm like, I'm here completely alone. What do you mean? He's like, there's a man talking, like just as loud as you right now. And I was like, I don't hear anything. And then he said it stopped.
Maybe he's just fucking with you. You ever thought about that?
But it gets even weirder. because you see, recently scratches have started to form on Tara's windows, but not on the inside. Tara has noticed that there are now strange deep scratches on the outside of the windows of her apartment.
Like scratches in the glass or smudges? Because that's an important distinction. If you have gouges in the glass pane, then you have purchased a glass cutter and are now damaging your rental property. If there are smudges, then you've simply opened your window and smudged it to make a ghost video so that people will follow you. You know, like, it's monetary. Every ghost video, if it gets a whole bunch of views and a bunch of subscribers, I am getting views and subscribers for dismissing and debunking ghost videos. Most people, instead of doing what I'm doing, they make the ghost videos. It's kind of a symbiotic relationship, you know what I mean? You make poor ghost videos, I debunk them with logic most of the time, because obviously some people in the comment section on my videos are going like, oh, why don't you go there? It's like, go where? You think I'm just gonna go to this random person's address and be like, no ghosts? Like, the logic part is important for not just me, but also you, the audience. It's important for both of us.
On the second floor.
So bad news, there's new scratches. Again, these are on the outside of the windows, and I'm on the second floor. You can tell me what you think it says. You gotta go to Chicago here. I don't know what it says, but
it looks like it says Shell, like the gas station. So not much there.
It looks like it's like 4 letters, maybe. Again, this on the outside of the window, you can see.
Yeah, I also see the thing that allows you to open the fucking window. You know what I mean? It opens on the inside. So.
Oh, God. Second floor. But I'll show you, these are definitely on the outside of the window, because I can wipe and wipe and wipe, and they're 100% on the outside. The only other like weird-ish thing to note is I've been hearing like loud noises. Am I
Sleep deprived, Helen Bonham Carter's twin, the extra from Sweeney Todd. Is that rude?
That's Jackie. Oh my God, thank God.
You're gonna turn the camera around, or are we just gonna look up your nose for the next 2 minutes? Nose it is.
Oh my God, Jackie! I'm sorry, dude. You just scared the holy out of me.
As Tara is showing the new scratches that have formed on her windows, she actually manages to capture one of the kitchen cabinets opening all on its own.
Oh, right. By the way, logic. When she closed the cabinet, you can hear that there was an audible click to it. So it leads me to believe that it's possible that it's one of those, like, it's shaped like this, and then there's a piece like this. So when it slides in, it goes click. You know what I mean? So if you put that like here, and then it like goes shoom. You know what I mean? it's under tension. So if you put it just so, then this is like trying to squeeze down on this to keep the cupboard closed like this, right? Oop, like this. So if you have it here, then it wants to be like this. So it's probably gonna pop the cupboard open and then have the cupboard. You know what I mean? I'm sure she knows that there's specific like places that she can just gently place the cupboard so that it slides open. That's gonna do it for this video. Sorry if you're expecting it to be 40 minutes long. On the Tuesday videos a while ago, we started doing 20 minutes or attempting to get it as close to 20 minutes as possible. Some of the feedback that I was getting on like r/NewTubers and stuff like that is that the 40 minutes videos might be good for somebody who's already coming back to our channel, but the high amount of time in the video plus the low view count might scare off some people. Because they're like, I don't want to spend 40 minutes watching this video, and the average watch duration of our videos is 20 minutes. So logically, if I just make the video 20 minutes long, then we should have 100% watch time. That's the theory. We're gonna run with that for about a month, maybe. See how that goes. I do want to make 40-minute videos. They're more my style because then I get to speak more about the things and I don't have to worry about crunching it down to 20 minutes, but it is what it is. We need to get this channel discovered. You know, people need to watch our videos. And if the 40-minute is scaring people off, then let's do 20 minutes. And then maybe what I'll do is I'll make 40-minute versions, cut 20 minutes out of it for the channel. And then when there's like channel members or whatever, maybe I'll put the 40-minute versions in for members only. So, you know, hey, that's actually a pretty good idea. And then I don't have to come up with a better idea. I love you. I'll see you tomorrow. And again, like that's the other thing. Just a video every day. 20 minutes might be more of our, might be better for